Jesus.
He says, I'm just going to get as close as the edge as I possibly can.
Talk about that right there.
I won't fall over. I just want to see what's on the other side. I've got to know what is on the other side. I've got to know.
Go ahead.
But after staring for so long at the other side, he wonders to himself, he ponders to himself, what if I could survive the fall?
Come on.
Tell him.
He sits there thinking that, what if I could survive the fall? And the enemy, seeing him hanging on the corner, just sitting there, his feet dangling off. The enemy cries out, why don't you come join us? Why don't you jump? Surely you won't break in pieces.
Come on.
Surely you'll recover from the fall.
Go ahead. Come on.
So in an instant, he gives himself away. He lets go. He fell so hard, he couldn't put himself back together again.
Right.
It will never cease to amaze me how close this generation loves to live close to the edge.
Straight. Come on.
That thin separating line of being in church or out of church.
Tell him.
Right.
Tell him.
So I'm here to say that the days of riding the fence are over.
Listen, young people,
It's
yes.
either hot or cold, righteousness or unrighteousness, heaven or hell, godliness or ungodliness. You see, I read the scriptures in Exodus. Moses was coming off the mount. And he's all excited that he just received the 10 Commandments. He's all excited and power from God. He came down and Joshua meets them and they begin to walk to the camp and they begin to hear a noise. And Joshua kind of scratches his head. He goes, I think I know what that sound is. That sound is what they make when they're going to war. And he gets a little closer. The noise is playing a little louder. And he thinks to himself, actually I think that's the noise of them getting ready to throw a party. And Moses, very angry, goes, no, that's not it. I know what they're doing. They've turned from God. We know the story where Moses, he smashes the 10 Commandments. And it's time that the church, we make a certain sound in an uncertain world.
Go ahead.
Amen. And he walks into the camp and sees that Israel has turned from everything that God had brought them out of, everything that God had turned them from. And Moses, in his anger, he takes a sword and draws a line down the camp. And he said, who is ever on the Lord's side? Step over here. The tribe of Levites walked over. And said, we're making a separating line. Are you on God's side or are you on this world's side? We're making a stand tonight.
Tell us.
Because church, we serve a jealous God.
Right.
A jealous God. He will not serve you with the world. He will not. He's a jealous God. He will not share you with the world.
That's right.
Because as we sit in our pews, there is a war going on. A war raging for our souls. There are literal spirits
Yes.
that want nothing to destroy you, to pull you down, to take you down. Ephesians 6 and 12 says principalities. They call them rulers of darkness. They want nothing to see you fall, to give up. They want you on that line, that gray area.
That's right.
Because they know if you sit there long enough, it's only time.
Go ahead.
Right.
The Bible says that Satan desires to have you, to swift you as wheat.
Right.
The Bible says he is as a lion seeking whom he may devour.
Right.
Satan knows his time is short.
Go ahead.
Right.
Tell
He
him.
knows what time it is. He knows that he's been loose for a season.
Go ahead.
He's very aware that we're living in the end times.
That's right.
And it's interesting that in the church I've noticed a new trend. Backsliding for a day.
Come on.
24-hour period.
Talk
Yep.
about it. Go
Won't
ahead.
hurt. No one will notice.
Go ahead.
I'll do my
Jesus.
thing, and then tomorrow I'll be back in church. Just 24 hours.
Preach it.
It won't hurt. The fall won't be that bad. It won't be that bad.
That's good.
In Acts chapter 27, we find Paul is in prison and they're taking him under the ship to be judged in another city.